Welcome to the next part of my playthrough of Chrono Trigger, Part 20, where we're basically going back to the future. As we saw at the end of the last episode, we're locked out of the Magic Kingdom. So we start where we left off, and we'll be going to the domes. Banger Dome, to be exact. The very first place we went to in the future, which also has one of the sealed doors. I did not open it at this time. I'm choosing to hold off until after the Magic Kingdom is sealed to open all the chests and doors when I have more freedom of movement. Especially since there's a lot of tricks with them. At least they only steal potions. But everybody we run across is basically a one-shot now. We'll revisit the dome we had our first boss fight in to heal up before moving on. And what's nice is I'm pretty sure everybody now has their level 2 magics. And these little jelly puddle things are easy as pie for one person to take down now. And the way that cuts off, I keep expecting to go up. This one always gets me when I'm avoiding. But with the weapons we have now, it's an easy fight with an auto battle. Now where we want to go is that little dome to the right. The place they call the sewer access. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's actually set, the critters in there, are, including the boss of the area, is set for about the same level as what we fought the last time we were here. So these guys are all pretty easy. Well, there's a few items here, and they're all, other than the money, the same level of stuff we got the last time we were here with and picked up Robo. Second bolt sword and stuff like that. I didn't bother last time because I was trying to keep below level 10. And plus it's easier to get through here once you have your level 2 spells and can just take out the crowds in one hit. Now, when we get the chance, we want to pull the switch that opens these bridges up. And that'll basically make a shortcut for us if we have to go through here again. And with the way the what do you say, Wings of Time works when you first get it. If you wanted to use it to get anywhere in this time period, whatever you do, don't make any noises. Don't touch anything. Don't run into anything. Don't save. Because every time you do, you'll trigger a fight. And I keep looking for a switch, and there's no switch there. There's the first switch we need to open the door. And a lot of hidden pathways. Now that's the switch we need to open the bridges. And we can only flip the switch after we fight the boss here. Now, if you come here earlier in the game, when you're in the future for the first time, there's the boss. The funny thing is you'll run into him as a normal monster later, just not named. But the same looks and the exact same attacks. One hit, one kill. And he calls himself a boss. Of course, coming here earlier, he's a little harder. So, as I said, it all depends on when you show up. And I don't come here until I need to. And there's only 2 times we need to. The first is to get this Wings of Time. And the second is to climb Death's Peak. Later in the game. There's Death's Peak. And as of right now, the wind will blow you. And the only way to avoid the wind is to stand behind the trees. You know, I looked around a little bit. The catwalk doesn't go anywhere. It's just a dead end. You just want to go around and up to the door. And this is basically when we find out the truth of Lavos. The funny thing is, in New Game Plus, you can beat Lavos basically from the beginning of the game, depending on which ending you're going for. But in all the endings, their 1999 Lavos attack always happens, even though you've killed him already in the past. And the future turns into this. And there it is. And if you've played this game before, it feels very incomplete. There's our way in. Every once in a while you gotta give them a kick. And then it was triggering sitting down. If you don't get it just right, it doesn't do that. Now you'll basically go to the same point on the map in any time period you go to right now. Whether it's the past or the future. Now I like going to the end of time first because, one, it gets that out of the way. Two, you let the old man that's stuck here know that it's complete. It's also a good chance to heal, save, and if your levels are right, attempt the fella in the back. Yeah. As we'll find out, the Skyway is sealed. And I don't remember if that's unsealed yet or not, but we'll be heading for the Mountain of Woe. There's a fella in this first room that sells all sorts of items, including weapons and armor. So and they're expensive. There's a inn that'll let you rest for free. You'll know it by the 3 beds. But the Mountain of Woe that we're coming up to is well named. Because the boss on it is one of the bosses that's a hallmark boss, or a footnote boss, or however you want to call it. Because if you can't beat him, you'll not be able to move on, for one. 2, he's tougher than any of the bosses so far. But on the plus side, oh yeah, there's a magic tab hidden here, or a strength capsule. And you fight off these guys. Each one's colored to a specific element. These yellow ones are strengthened by lightning. But all the elements will work on them. She's got quite a ways to go to get fire too. And she's usually the second one I get the triple tech from. Now, the mini boss fight at the end of this cave is 1 red, 1 blue, and an imp that kicks him with a rock. And after we beat him, that's where we'll save and end the episode. And go on to Mount Woe in the next. Now, if I remember right, lightning will work on them. Ice will work on the red one in the imp. Fire will work on the blue one in the imp. And they do love to use Chrono and Frog's X Strike. Unfortunately, she doesn't have Fire 2 yet, as we just saw. If she did, she would have damaged the blue one in the imp. But since the elements only cause 0 damage to the ones they're immune to, it doesn't hurt just to hit them with your number 2 elemental spells. Mount Woe, which is coming up, is a great place to grind out your TP, because everything there drops a ton of tech points. And I just let Lucia lay there until close to the end because her fire abilities at this point of the game just leave much to be desired. And I'll be honest, after you beat these guys and get access to Mount Woe, I suggest, if you haven't done so, take your time and grind on Mount Woe. At least until your main party has a number of techs built up beyond Fire 2 and Lightning 2. I think by the time I fight the boss, well, we'll deal with that in the next episode. But the very first, especially in the new game plus, all of these bosses are very difficult. But you're mainly concentrating on the imp. Once he's dead, they all die. Alright, thank you for watching.